She found really fresh tracks of a female leopard, but in the process they were heading towards Buffelshoek Dam, and as you can see, well, we've got a baby who's been having a good early morning swim. We've got elephants actually going to be all around us shortly, so that shake of the head is just to let us know that she's big and she's strong and we mustn't cause any trouble with her, and we're not going to, but her general body behavior is very, very relaxed. So, oh, this is a beautiful herd. You can see she's picking up some dust. That's very interesting. You can't actually see her feet. There we go. There. She's flicking dust. We're now literally surrounded. Oh, that was nearly on us. So we're in a position now where we actually can't move the car. If we did, it would probably upset, especially with animals that age. That little Ellie is probably no more than a month old. You can see how they corral and herd it. So if we had started the car, just the noise and whatnot might make them upset. At the moment, you can see they're very relaxed. They're just moving around the vehicle, actually on both sides of the vehicle. And you can see there's some more there. This little boy, I think he might shake his head. He's got that sort of glint in his eye. He's going to say, I'm going to teach this guy a lesson. But I'm going to do it very slowly. And I'm going to sneak up on them. Oh, we've got all around us. Going to the exact same spot where that female kicked up dust, and actually taking dust from the exact same spot. There we go. Yes, we see you. This is an incredibly special experience in this early morning, being this close to such a nice big herd of Ellies as well. I'm guessing there's probably 30 or so around us at the moment. We've got a really, really big old cow just to the left of this little one here. And she's really thick. Definitely one of the older cows in this group. It's amazing how dexterous their trunks are. And she's taking off tiny little leaflets off that. I can't even see what tree it is at the moment. Hello, old lady. Yeah, I'm going to wait for her to pass, and then I'm going to move. The rest of the elephants have gone down to the dam. And all the little ones are having some fun behind us. Oh, it sounds like I can hear elephants swimming. I can't see it right now. I can definitely hear an elephant in the water. So I was going to move forward a bit so we can have a look at what's going on down at the water's edge. Australina is asking, are there any rivers that might be flowing after the rain? Australina, no. As I said, I don't think we had much more than about 10 millimeters last night, and unfortunately, that's not gonna cause any rivers to flow. So these water points, like the one we're sitting at the moment, are going to be very, very important in the coming months. I thought they might cross through. There we go. No, deciding to take the long way around. So definitely the other elephants we saw, you could see by the watermarks on their body that they decided to take the shortcut through the water. I'm just going to move forward a little bit, see what the other ellies are up to. I was hoping this lot would swim through the water, but they have not. Thanks. You can just check with them. There might be the same tracks we're following on Yala Road north. Oh, hello, little cheeky boy. Running behind us. Good morning, Catherine from Texas. Welcome on the Sunrise Safari. Catherine would like to know, does the wildlife movement change much during the winter months? Are there migrations? Sorry, just quickly at the back there, we can see that tiny little elephant who walked past us earlier, having a drink. Catherine, there is a bit of change in movement. These water points like the one we're sitting at now become very, very important to a lot of animals. And from my understanding from speaking to people who've been in this area for a long time and worked in this area for a long time, is that this water point in particular holds its water a lot longer than any of the other ones. Sorry, I'm just going to move so we can see a bit more. And oops. And so you will find congregations of elephant and buffalo around these water points during the dry season. And also predators, because my understanding is that there's not much other water very close to this in the neighboring properties. You can see they've now had their morning drink. Hello. Yes, we're not doing anything silly. Calm yourself. And they're actually now heading out to go forage. And I think we're going to stay with them for a bit. We had female leopard tracks in the same direction going. We just decided to check the dam quickly to make sure that leopard hadn't possibly popped up in this area. Oh, some young boys having a little bit of a play fight, a tussle to our left. So I'm just going to swing around. Nothing too serious, as you can see. So these young boys are always sort of on the peripheries of the herds. I guess it's probably around, goes to around 20. No, it doesn't look too serious. So the reason these young boys are pushed, oh, there we go.
Conservable Fuzzy Ingwer headed east away from Treehouse Dam and then veered north onto Weaver's Nest. Briefly, and then I think it's continued east towards Sundown, and I'm going to be following up.
So the one on the right is probably a couple of years older, just from what I can see. So really interesting. It must be quite tough being a young male elephant. They reach sexual maturity, so they are able to mate from about the age of 14. But with all the big dominant bulls around, well, they can only actually start mating when they get to about 25, between 25 and 30. Let's move a little bit so we can have a better look at these. Look, he's doing the splits. Now, that is not a position you see an elephant in very often. As I said, this looks a lot more like playing. They're not very seriously going at each other. Hold on a second, we're going to go over a big bump shortly. Sorry guys, I just didn't want to move while they were playing. I thought I might disturb them. So all this play fighting is going to be very, very important as they get older. This particular fight is not too serious. Almost looks like, if you can imagine in human terms, two buddies sort of play wrestling, or oh, they're going to come out right in front of us. But you can see the one at the back definitely looks like, as you can see, he's a bit taller, he's a bit older, and he's winning. And now the poor female in front gets pushed as well. And it's this type of behavior, with the testosterone levels being quite high, that causes these young males to be pushed to the edge of the breeding herds. They're just a little bit too rambunctious to be around all the little calves and whatnot. So I'm just going to drive a little bit quickly for a second. I just want to get around in front of them. Slumberland Global mobile to the south from Buffalo Dam on Rockland. With these young bulls, this type of behavior can go on for hours, and this is quite a meek. Did you guys hear that? The ivory touching each other. This is quite changed so far, but they can get themselves really worked up. And when they do, charging around, shouting, screaming. Oh no, well, it looks like we're the next challenger. No, I don't want to play your wrestling game. Go play with your friend. Thank you. Their tusks clinking again in front of me. We're just going to try to catch up with them. Nope. You're going to get tusk in the bum. As you can see, this particular interchange is not too serious, but these play fights between the young bulls can become very serious very quickly. Ha! I see a gap. He's not looking at me. I can get him. I can get him. That herd, I can actually hear them off to the right. They've sort of spread out into the bush. Oh, he's chasing him now. They've spread out into the bush and started feeding. Yes, you're big and scary, I know. Go chase your friend. So he's basically displaying the same behavior he was displaying with that younger bull with us now, but he's still not quite sure. He's going to go, yeah, we're going to shake a tree. He's very big and scary. But even though this looks like it might be aggressive behavior, it's completely fine. He's just in that type of mood this morning. Yes, you're very scary. We're very scared. Yes, you've definitely won this battle. I love young elephant males because they're like, okay, I've won, and then they turn around and run like a little girl back to mom. Even when they're this age. He's going to turn around now that he's at a safe distance, and he's going to tell us how. There we go, exactly. He's like, see, I told you, I'm very scary. They are wonderful animals. In a lot of ways, a lot of these characteristics are very similar to a teenage boy who's showing off. So in front of his friends, he's big and tough. But then all of a sudden, as soon as he realizes that no one's there, no one's watching, he loses all his bravado and sort of has to disappear down the road at high speed. So we got 3 young boys here on the periphery. So he's a bit younger than the other 2. You can just have a look at his tusks. Even though they're similar length, they're quite a lot thicker. So I think he's going to be a very big boy when he grows up. And there's our friend from earlier. Looks like he's trying to decide whether he's going to step into the road to give us another talking to. Ah, no, it looks like he's feeding now. But literally, all those elephants we just saw have spread out, and they're now on this really wide arc of about, from what my ears are saying, probably about 300-400 meters. They're spread out over, feeding. And we've got the 3 young bulls on the periphery here. In fact, it sounds like the rest of the herd is further to our east. They're the 2 sparring guys. Definitely think they're the most fun, so we're going to stick with those 2 for now. And the rest of the herd's moved into some quite thick bush off to our east, with elephants, I know you guys have seen us follow leopards through much thicker and lions through much thicker. Well, those two are having a good spar again, it sounds like. But with Ellie's, and especially a herd that's got youngsters like that, we've had such a fantastic sighting. There's no need to go crash through the bush and get them excited. We're on the road, and we've got these lovely young bulls that are giving us a really good show. Heads up, trumpeting. I love it when elephant bulls do that. They lift their head up. I mean, they're such huge, big, impressive animals. And yet, they can look even bigger and more impressive when they do that sort of head lift. There we go. Unfortunately, they're sparring behind a bush at the moment. Let's go forward a little bit, see if we can see a bit more. Looks like they're going to be very kind and fighting around Leaf Teak Grove. Oh, he's decided we're more interesting now. Yes, you're very clever. There's your friend, he's running away from you. See, there's a perfect example of that heads-up behavior I was talking about. You'll notice elephant bulls do that when they're not 100% sure what's going on. But in this case, I think it's just that he's filled with the joy of life. And his friend he was fighting with ran away, so he's now just thinks we're more entertaining. And off he chases after the other elephant. We're going to get trumpeted at it again. No, he stopped halfway and decided, I'm just going to eat the stick, because they stopped. They're not scared of me, they're not moving. Oh, he's stalking us from behind the weeping wattle. Hello, young man. Now, you would have seen a lot of stuff's caused by movement. He is definitely full of the joy of life this morning. He's lost his playmate. His playmate's decided wrestling is overrated and he'd rather go eat. So I think he's looking for a new playmate, and it's not us. Sorry, keep moving on. Hello, Big Scary. Yes, have a mouthful of round leaf teak in the meantime. And you'll notice quite often with elephants, especially when they're doing a lot of this sort of displaying, which he's doing at the moment. He'll always try to keep a bush or a branch in front of us because it makes him feel safer. You can see when he's out on the open road, he needs to create distance between us. But when he comes from behind a bush, he'll come much closer. And that's sort of a natural boundary that makes him feel safe. But I am really enjoying spending time with this guy this morning. I'm just off to the left. We can't really see him. I just saw him now. There we go. He's going to go stab the other elephant in the bottom because he can. And because we're not playing along to his game. Debbie! That's this morning, Debbie. Debbie would like to know these elephants at the age where they'll be pushed out of the herd. Yes, Debbie, they're right on the peripheries of the herd. They're not staying with the herd. They've already sort of been pushed out of the main body of the herd. And the reason for that is this behavior we're displaying now, this sort of trumpeting, trying to be big deals, as my dad would call it. They're basically sort of the same as a teenage boy trying to show off. These guys are a little bit older, probably between in the early 20s, and so the rest of the herd is probably 100, 200 meters further north from where these guys are. If they get too close to the main body of the herd, the large females and that would actually push them out. And as you can see, they're full of testosterone. And as I said, it must be quite a difficult life to be a young male elephant. So you're full of testosterone, you can't mate till you're sort of between 25 and 30 because the bigger bulls won't give you the opportunity to. They have to get to a bigger size where they can actually compete with the older animals. So that's why we're seeing a lot of this behavior, specifically from the slightly older one who's running around. He's still running around in the background. And trumpets at nothing, he pokes out the elephants in the bum with his tusks, so he's just trying to be a big deal. There he is. Oh, such beautiful, beautiful soft morning light this morning. And these ellies in this round leaf teak grove. So you can see all these trees in front of the elephant are almost all exactly the same height. And that is actually because they are maintained, they are pruned to that height, and that is done by elephants. It's one of an elephant's favorite food. A friend of mine actually calls it an elephant lollipop, because they've got these long sticks. So they pull it out and they sort of chew the whole branch through. But when you see round leaf teak in this part of the world, it never actually reaches maturity. It never gets to a big tree because the elephants keep it at this young age, or keep it at this sort of height, and keep the plants producing new shoots, so nice and tasty for them. Oh, here we go. Trouble's back. Just going to teach the bush a lesson first. I think we're going to let these ellies carry on with their morning. I'm quite keen to get back onto those female leopard tracks now that we've checked the dam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the last track. They definitely haven't come out in this area. And I'm quite sure, with all the noise these elephants have been making, that she would probably try avoid the area where there's a large breeding herd.